Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, clap your hands, stamp your feet, and slowly rub your privates. It's the Tidy Boys, Tidy 30 podcast.
I would look into a camera at this top and tail, wouldn't I think?
Would you?
Yeah.
I think, but is it a camera thing, or is it? It's a radio show is just ambient, isn't it, on the visuals?
So not look into the camera.
I wouldn't
for a
look
top
into the
tail.
camera. No.
Never look into the camera.
You're in the room talking.
It's ambient.
I can't
Can't say it
Yeah,
again.
but I can't.
You don't look at the camera.
Can't help it.
Yeah.
You're on radio.
He goes on out.
You're on radio.
Right. Okay.
You're not on the telly.
Not on the telly.
Okay.
Just remember that. Okay, we're
You're
ready
on
to go.
the radio.
Hi, we're the Tidy Boys, and this is the first, hopefully of many, podcasts that we're doing. A Tidy 30 podcast, Andy. We're going to look back at 30 years of Tidy. Now, it's not till next year that we celebrate 30 years of Tidy, but there's so many people and so many things we want to talk about. I thought we'd start it early.
I think it's a good idea to start it early. So many memories, Amadeus. So many people along the way that we've met. So many records that we've released, events that we've done. And this year it's a biggie for us, this next year. So yes.
Yeah, and let's do it now before we get too old to forget, if you know what I mean. We're
Particularly with your incoming anniversary.
Well, we'll talk about that later, won't we?
We started looking at homes for you.
Thank you very much. So we're the Tidy Boys. If you don't know us, we've been DJing for a long time. We set up Tidy Tracks in 1995, and we've been producers and what else?
And best friends.
Best friends, which is the most important thing. We're still together. Not many people have stayed together. Not many marriages have lasted this long.
Yeah, but we have produced, worked, toured the world together for, 30 odd years.
So we've got a lot to talk about, but like you said, we've got a lot of guests that we want to get into the podcast room here at Tileyard North, and I thought we'd start with somebody very, very important.
Probably the most important, I'd say.
Would you say that? You're not going to say that every week.
No, she is. She's special.
She's very special. Yeah, I mean, if you look back at Tidy's history, there is some pivotal moments in our history, particularly on the releases and the DJs we work with and producers. And I think we'll start with back in 1998, wasn't it?
Was it?
It was 98, we had the idea, but it wasn't until 99 did the concept come about where we'd get 4 girls together in the studio for no other reason than to make some really good music. Do you remember that? So we are coming up to we are in a 25-year anniversary of the Tidy Girls EP and the Tidy Girls releases. So let's start with the original. The original. Miss Lisa Lashes. Welcome to our little podcast.
Hi.
Hello, darlings.
Oh, it's an honour and a privilege.
I was just saying how long it's been in the same room together.
And we're still here. We look good, don't we? All 3 of us. Hey, bloody hell.
But you were right. When you said that we hadn't been together in the same room for like 25 years, we've obviously passed each other in the club environment, But we've never turned the big lights on. Looked into each other's eyes.
We've never done this.
We've done
weekenders.
Yes.
We've had backroom moments.
Yes, I've probably had my shades on and stuff in that time.
We've been to the States together.
Yes.
But we've never done this, sat down and had a proper conversation, have we?
Proper
chat. Time.
Quite a serious chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's time to be serious as well.
I think you're right, Amadeus.
So I think we should. There's a lot of celebrations coming up over the coming months, as I talked about Tidy's 30th year. But there's some other ones. The Tidy Girls 25, and we'll also talk about another one, which is 25 years of Hard House Euphoria. We'll cover all those.
Have we got long
where
enough?
To start? I made a little list because I thought I'd be professional. Because Andy said, "Please write something down."
Yeah.
So it says here, intro done. Tick. My next question, it sounds flippant, but what happened to Lisa Lashes over the last 25 years? And I don't mean that in where's she gone. What happened from your journey?
Okay.
The journey from...
Yes.
Shall we start from Sun Essential?
Yes.
And then work our way to the present day?
Well, I'm not sure I remember all of that, obviously. Yeah. Anybody who went to Sunday Central and remember that you can't remember half of the stuff. So.
But in a nutshell, where did it start to where we are now?
Okay, so where it started was obviously being picked up by Madders many, many years ago.
Oh.
was it? Saw me on a boat.
Okay.
On the
boat.
River Severn.
I never did because you were working for Marks and Spencer's, weren't
I
you?
was, yeah, okay. So I did
we'll
8.5
start there, but
years at
how did-
M&S.
Yeah, but where did it go
M&S
from
to
that
Wakefield.
to Sunday Central? How did...
So basically, my friend had some decks. Baz, hello Baz. His mum and dad wouldn't let him play the music so loud, so I had a house. I lent him my dining room. When he was at work, I used to go on the decks because it was not very allowable, I would say, the word.
Wouldn't let you play on his decks?
No, not really. I could polish them, I could clean them and stuff like that, but no, because they're an expensive piece of, people like, watch the needles, watch
We're
the
talking
decks.
vinyl here, yeah.
We're talking vinyl here. I'm a girl, so it was like that. What would you know? Not he didn't say that, but many people did. So I used to sneak back from M&S and go on the on his decks. I used to buy my own little pound vinyls, Susie Carr all over me. Bought 2 of those, mixed it in together for a long time, and then it wasn't until he came back, Paulie, one time and found me on the decks without the polishing cloth. Oh shit, like that kind of thing. So. Yeah, so it went on from there really, and he really supported me, my friends, kind of just threw drum and bass at me, tech house at me, this at me, and I could just mix it in. It was just one.
You taught yourself to mix?
Yeah.
Nobody actually taught you?
No.
Wow.
Back in the day, you just taught yourself, didn't you? There wasn't anything out there. So yeah, I mean, and my career has been amazing. You guys picked me up with Euphoria. So after I went to Sunday Central, obviously, you guys picked me up with Euphoria. They were the biggest selling hard house.
They were huge,
albums
weren't they?
in 2000. Yeah, so we're
But
coming up to that.
that was after the Tidy Girls EP, wasn't
Yes.
it? So let's jump back.
Yes.
I
Sorry,
remember.
I'm off.
Yeah, let's jump back to the Tidy Girls EP. That came about because we had a label manager called Simon Paul, and I think it was his original idea because Hard House was mainly men, and I think it was his idea. So why didn't you get 4 good DJs, female DJs, into the studio and make an EP? Because we'd done a remix under the name Tidy Girls. Weirdly,
Yeah. I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Did you?
We were the Tidy
Okay.
Girls to
Oh,
start off
really? I
with.
didn't know that.
What track was
Wow.
It was Handbaggers, you found out.
That-
So we did a Tidy Girls remix
Wow.
of the Handbaggers.
Did you wear girls that
that's the
nobody
difference.
really
It's
knew?
the whole of the
Yeah,
story.
We'll
probably
talk about
leave
that
that
at a
one.
weekend.
Yeah.
We'll get onto that.
Come on to that one.
So yeah, we were the original Tidy Girls, just as a production name. We thought it'd be cute.
That's funny.
And but then I think Simon Paul came up with the idea, who ended up to be Lost Witness, by the way.
Yes.
So Simon Paul became Lost Witness. So he said, let's get 4 girls in. And then I think you were an obvious choice. And Rachel had already had a career with the Candy Girls, so she was
Oh,
quite
yes.
established, really.
Yeah.
She had a couple of chart hits. And then, of course,
Pinnup.
Lisa Pinnup, who was already sort of semi-established, wasn't she, really? But not as a... I think none of you had sort of had that production
No.
thing. So
No,
do
I
you,
think mine was the first one. Was
First
looking
one,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you came
Wow.
up to Rotherham.
Yes.
I think there was, Andy was obviously there, but
Yeah.
Paul James was there.
Yeah.
And we all sat in the studio, looked at each other and said, what should we do?
I know. Yes.
Have you got any memories of that day?
The door opening and then closing after an amazing track, and it was like, wow, wasn't it? I think we did it over 2 days, didn't we, in Rotherham?
We did. I think the music came first, but then we were stuck. I think we hadn't got I remember giving you a CD, and we'd done this sample CD
Yes.
called Remix, and it got loads of samples on it. You know, they're all license free, and I remember you sticking the headphones on and skipping through
Yes.
it. I said,
That
see if you
one.
can find a sample, and then you found that sort of speech from the moon,
Yes.
landing on the moon.
Yeah.
And there was one really good line in there.
Yes.
Which became Looking Good. Really.
Yeah.
And that
The
was
whole of looking
what a
good.
classic
We are
that
now
became.
in the approach phase,
yeah.
and everyone is looking good.
Awesome.
And that was sort of the first sort of, well, I'm going to say donk record, but a big offbeat sound.
Yeah,
that
it
sort
was,
of
actually.
spawned a whole genre. I remember Ingo said to me that he created a whole career based on the Looking Good bass
Wow.
line. He sampled it on every record he did for the
love
first
him.
2 years.
Wow, did he?
Yeah.
Love him.
So yeah, it was an inspirational record. And I remember, I think, Andy, you'd done with Paul James, you'd done the Lisa... we'd done the Lisa Pinnup track first. Me, you and Paul James.
Yeah.
And then after we'd done Looking Good, we went back and said, we've got to redo the Lisa one.
Because Lisa's track was, I think it was a little bit too sort of poppy and trancey, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So we went back and
Okay.
did
After
Rock
yours.
With Me.
Did the bop, bop, bop,
So
bop, bop.
it just didn't
Perfect.
sit right, did it?
No, so once we'd done Looking Good second, we said we can't put the two together. So really, I think of that EP, Looking Good was the one that sort of shaped the sound particularly that sort of offbeat bounce sound.
And I'd say that it's probably to this day one of the top 10 sort of defining tidy tracks records.
I would say so. Yeah.
It is really looking good. It is one of the Dawn looking good.
Yeah.
What you got for me.
How amazing
it
that
really is.
And the Hannah Lane, obviously, she drops it in a set. I saw her the other week. She just drops it in the middle of a set.
I know. And everybody goes crazy.
Which we'll talk about the newbies in a minute. So I just jumped back there. Tidy Girls came first, obviously 25 years, and then
then it did Euphoria. Yeah, that took me to, I suppose, mixing that. We did that, didn't we? At your, on vinyl.
Yes, on vinyl. Coming to my house in Kettering, in Primrose Close, knocking at the door, and I remember you even bought a bunch of flowers for me and Ange.
I did.
And I remember that day. Special day.
That is lovely.
A lovely
touch.
So that was when the album was done. And it was for. I mean, I've read online because you put a picture up, didn't you, the other day about Hard House Euphoria.
Yes.
It was the album that got probably a majority of people into Hard House.
Yeah, I would have thought so. There's been many, a family, a relationship, children, been born from that. Obviously not on the dance floor at that time, hopefully. I mean, we never know, do we?
We don't know, do we?
We don't know what happens. But the people that have met, the amount of stories and things underneath that, people saying it was still in their car, like they sold it and they wish they had got the CD back and that, because it's not online anymore, is it?
It's not online, and I've just, for the people that are watching, because there are people watching us as well as listening to us, I've actually got the original CD there, unplayed version there.
Can I see? You can hold it.
You can hold it, yeah. And that spawned a series of Hard House Euphorias, didn't it? Obviously, me and Andy and Lisa did the second one, but that's the one. The orange one, it sticks in a lot of people's memories because it was the first and it inspired the rest. So
it was pretty feisty at 150 BPM. I think we started, wasn't it? We thought break them in gently.
TV advertised album.
I know.
Nobody, I remember watching Coronation Street, and halfway through, this came on for the advert, and it must have. Old people watching Coronation Street must have thought, wow, what's going on here?
That?
But that was a big album. And 25 years is coming up next year.
Yeah.
Time for a tour maybe or something.
We could look into that, I'm sure, can't we? I think we've already got
Tidy Boys and Lisa Lashes on tour.
Oof.
Euphoria.
Celebrating Hard House Euphoria.
Come on.
That's something to
with new tunes.
Make happen. But these albums, like I said, they definitely inspired a generation and certainly launched your career. So what happened, we're going to jump forward. After Euphoria, you went up and up. What happened next?
And then I suppose after, I think it was 17 years, I kind of wanted to change to something different. So then I dipped my toes into the psytrance world. Yeah. Got to a couple of number ones straight away, so I was like, okay, what can I do next? Then I went to the trance world. I'm in Van Buren playing some of my tracks and stuff. Okay, that's great. And then I went into I suppose after that I went into techno. So so I was signed
Carl
to
Cox playing some of these.
Well, for 18 weeks at Space in IB for his final he played my tracks, all three of them that I'd made every week.
Wow. So
that was pretty insane, watching him play three of my tracks when there's Kylie Minogue and lots of different people, Naomi Campbell and stuff dancing to, and all I could think of was, I hope I've given him the right USB, and I hope that's not the unmastered one or version. So you have quite a lot of anxiety when you hand one over to this amazing guy and he plays it. So I was on, I am on Intech Digital, to this wonderful man, and then I what happened? I kind of felt like I was being a little bit poorly after that. I don't know whether it was burnout or not, but in the end it turned out I'd got type 1 diabetes. So that kind of changed a lot of things, because type 1 diabetes, when you're insulin dependent, it doesn't know what if you're in Australia, it doesn't know what days or hours it is, so you've still got to be on that certain regime, otherwise I could go into comas. So I have a sensor there for type 1 diabetes, and then I still obviously wanted to do something with music. That's my life. I'll never retire from music. I don't think people do. So I started a school. I thought, right, well, how can I be less travelling around and exhausted? So I built a school from a mind map, basically. So the Lisa Lashes School of Music. It was a mind map. met an amazing lady, Deborah, at one of the free workshops I did in Leicester, and she said, "Would you like to make this a proper business?" And I'm like, "Sure." So 7 weeks later, we were fully funded and delivering to our first cohort.
Did you do the first ones were in Northampton, weren't they?
Northampton, yeah. That's where the funding.
So what year was that?
2018. So the week that I started the school, May 2018, May, June, July, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and given insulin and just, here you go.
That must have been a bit of a
Crack on.
shock, obviously, because
For sure.
you're travelling the world DJing, you're having a few drinks and getting merry, and then all of a sudden you must have had to change your whole
lifestyle, everything now. I mean, it's been a progression, but I think I'm where I need to be now with the nutrition, and just come back from Ibiza with staying at my friend's Romans. We had some wonderful nutritional ladies, so I was not injecting for 2 or 3 days at a time, which is fantastic. So it is about the food and the environment and stuff that you're in. So so I'm fully on board with that now. And so I hadn't made any music for hard stuff for it's got to have been over 10 or more years.
Yeah.
So now as you know, I've been in the studio a few times up here.
Yeah.
And I've made some tracks, and there's a release schedule for that, which will be out soon. And I'm just loving life, going from 150 BPM, maybe on a Thursday, and then I'm making well-being music, which is 50
that's right.
BPM.
You just had a chat with Andy.
Yeah.
Maybe talk a little bit about the. We'll come back to the hard house, but the well-being stuff. What got you into that?
Oh, I literally wanted to cure my pancreas with the frequency. And no one else has done it. And it only takes one, right?
Yep.
So I'm trying my best to make frequencies that will be healing frequencies, which I'm putting into the well-being soundscapes. And, really enjoying that.
Music as medicine.
Of course.
It's a huge thing, actually.
Yeah.
So yes, we are collaborating, working together, exploring.
So it's come full circle then, from you coming into the studio doing a banging, looking good track, to now you just had a meeting, I think, with Andy, talking about well-being music and tuning forks and bowls and meditation.
Absolutely.
Wow.
What a fascinating thing. And I think it's the right time as well, with the amount of people that really are struggling out there, I suppose. And music is just a perfect thing for them to release that struggle. And when you understand the healing frequencies that music can do to your body, to your mind, brain entrainment, it's a wonderful thing.
But you also said to me, as well as the meditation and the soft music that puts you in a trance, relaxed state, some hard house and techno also does you good as well.
Oh, 100%. I mean, have you seen the smiley faces when we go and play out? That's other people's meditation.
Yeah.
And their well-being is being on that dance floor for that time, just releasing what they've got at work, don't care for that time.
Yep.
Let's just go out and have some fun, and smiles are infectious.
Yeah, music is definitely medicine. I mean, I get regular emails from people that, and it sounds a bit corny, but people have actually said, music sort of saved their life. They've been in depressive states, particularly with the COVID time and everything, and they've put on a Euphoria or a Tidy track or something, and I've literally got one message where a guy was actually close to the edge, and he literally went and just played a load of hard house and said, and I've got the message, that got me through a very dangerous moment in time, where he was thinking about taking his own life. And who would have thought that hard house or that sort of music would have pulled him through?
It's euphoric, it's uplifting, isn't it? It takes you to a place.
It is a special thing. So you've come full circle, but let's go back then to the Tidy Girls 25, because we're all going to get together again, aren't we?
We are in November.
The 4 Tidy Girls and the Tidy, because we're celebrating 25 years as well.
Yeah, we started DJing together in
1999.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So March 99, we started DJing about the time when the Tidy Girls EP was.
Yeah.
So almost the same month in 1999.
Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thought it?
And we're all going to get together for the first time at the Opera House on November the 30th. Tickets are still available from skiddle.com.
Not many, though. So
Not many, no. It's running out fast. But let's talk about why we chose the Opera House. For me and Andy, it's a very, very special place. What about you?
Well, I was a resident down there for
Slinky.
many years. Yeah. So and when I was doing the Euphoria, when I was like playing everywhere, that was a favourite for me to come and play there.
It's got to be one of the top venues. Because you remember when the DJ box was in the pit?
Yes.
I think the first time we ever played there, because as a DJ, there's certain venues and gigs that you wanted to play and tick off. I can remember walking in there. Eddie Halliwell was playing. The place was stacked, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was layers.
And Eddie was hammering it out. The place was going mad, and I think we opened with the 18, didn't we?
Yeah, we had to put something on to sort of to calm everybody, because we couldn't take Eddie had take it to the roof, and we didn't know where to go, so we wound it down and we opened with the A Team, and I think we opened with a big track and it went off. But I never forget, there's some gigs you never forget, and I think our first trip to Slinky and the Opera House, but I'd already seen Tony DeVee at the Opera House way back in 97. I'd seen him play there, so I'd already got a bit of special memories there. But I know I think Anne had a residency down there as well.
I think so.
Because she was on Rapture TV, I think, playing down there, wasn't she?
I think we both were on there. Yeah,
Rapture TV.
So we're back. We're going back on November 30th.
Wow.
November 30th, yeah.
Yes.
So make sure. Imagine not being there. Tidy Girls 25, 4 Tidy Girls back together again, and the Tidy Boys celebrating 25
Have we done
years.
the lineup yet? Have we scheduled the lineup?
Of who's playing when? Yeah. I think we've just put the names in a hat.
Yeah. We could just do that.
Yeah, we should do a raffle. Who's on first? But yeah, we'll keep the surprise for that. So, yes, lots of celebrations coming up. We've talked about this Euphoria thing. Do you think there is a chance of maybe something special happening next year, Lisa, with the Euphoria?
Well, I think there's 100% chance.
Are you up for it? That's the question. Are you up for it?
Yeah. Well, the post that we did that literally went viral a couple of weeks ago for the Euphoria, people want it by the sounds of things. But also new music needs to happen.
Yeah, which brings me on to new music. You said you've been in the studio. I think you've done 6 or 7 tracks. I think 6.
Yeah.
Now, one of them you've just done has just been signed to Hannah Lane's label, Doof.
Yes.
That, I mean, when I first heard that, I knew that was going to be.
Did you?
No, I thought, I'd like that and Tidy, but I appreciate that we do need to get our music wider than Tidy and get it on labels like
and
Doof.
what a perfect person as well with the Radio 1 residency.
she's
and
great.
she just loves Hard House, and we love her for that. Because
we love her for that,
Yes.
Of course we do. We met her at a Tidy Weekender, and she came backstage and she was very nervous because, she looked up to us, I suppose, and yourself. And she said her mum and dad was into Hard House, and she was brought up on Hard House.
I love her mum and dad. Love them.
So
thank you.
What Hannah likes to do is dig through. We sent her the USB of all the Tidy back catalogue. She likes to find them little B-side gems and drop them in a set. What do you think about? Because we're struggling with the fact that Hard House is big again, and yet it's not necessarily translating back to us in a way. What do you think?
I think it's that definition of Hard House because we're the old school, as it were. We defined the sound between us and other DJs on the label. But when you now hear mainstream sets from Ben Hemsley, from Hannah, it's Hard House. Amara, it's Hard House, isn't it? But is it Hard House as we know it, or is it slightly different? Do you know what I mean?
It's slower. I think it's a little bit slower.
A little bit slower, but it is Hard House because Hannah, when she's interviewed, she calls it Hard House. Now, we had this meeting today. Beatport haven't got a section called Hard House.
You're joking me.
They've got like hard dance and hyper techno and all this stuff. So when we put Hard House out as a label, we've got nowhere to put it.
Oh, wow.
But so what we're doing a campaign to
Definitely
get Beatport to bring back a Hard House section. Because if everybody's calling it Hard House, then it should be
Well, that was the
there.
original. I mean, the Euphoria is a Hard House, aren't they?
Yeah, of course it is. And
then it was a change to Hard Dance, I think, sort of like a 15 years
Yeah, but if
after
you
that.
look at the Hard
We're
Dance
House.
chart that's in there, it's shit. There's a lot of there's
Don't
a
mince
lot
your
of
words.
there's a lot of European nonsense in there.
Okay.
Stuff that offends
let's
me.
stand for the offence. Yeah.
So we need to bring back a Hard House genre on
Okay.
Beatport. Beatport, if you're listening,
on
please sort that out right now.
Yes.
But yeah, it's translating from what the kids are playing to what we're doing. It's a struggle. I don't think people follow labels so much as artists these days, and I think that's the problem. We're old school again, as Andy says, and we're hoping that Tidy gets traction. But really, I think it's down to the artist, not the label.
Yes.
So if you put a track out, people probably won't know what label it's on. It's just a new track from Lisa Lashes.
Okay. And there will be some.
But the track you have done for the Tidy Girls EP,
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that one?
Hit them with the power.
Hit 'em
I
with
mean, how difficult is it to kind of go from Looking Good, which was so iconic, and that to then do a run,
follow-up.
which 25 years is the running up, running up to that. So you kind of got to go into the studio with no preconceptions. Right, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it's going to be, and obviously. Paul Maddox did an amazing job.
You went in with Paul, didn't you? Now, you, like I said, we wanted a track that represented you now, and I think that track does represent you now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It takes your head off as well, which is
It does
good.
take your head off.
Which is kind of me as well. Well, that side meditation, this side take your head off, so that's fine. I'm happy with that kind of duality in life that I have at the moment.
As a DJ, you want to play it.
Oh, thank you.
Hit 'em with the Power is going to be Lisa Lash's track on the forthcoming Tidy Girls 25 EP, which you'll be pleased to know we're also doing on vinyl. We're going to do like the original gatefold vinyl from 25 years ago,
yes,
so
please.
that'll be nice. And we're going to put it on coloured vinyl as well.
Oh my goodness.
So that's to
I
look forward
obviously
to.
need the green. If that's
definitely.
We're going to do that on I think it's the first week of December, touch wood, that comes out on vinyl as well as digital. And you'll be able to hear what Anne Savage, Lisa Pinup and Rachel Auburn's done.
Wow.
And what I like about it,
Fantastic.
having heard it so far, they're all different. They're all very good in their own individual way. And they do represent each DJ as well.
I love
I've
it.
just heard Rachel Auburn's. It's very, very strong. So that's something to look forward to.
Massive.
Yeah. You've not heard the Rachel Auburn one. That's good
No,
as well.
I'm looking forward to hearing that.
And the Anne Savage one. And the Anne Savage one will surprise you. It's not a donkey thing. It's quite
It's
nice.
not a donkey thing.
It's not a donkey thing. No, it's quite different for Anne, and really sounds good.
Lisa Pinup bouncing.
Well, again, Lisa Pinup's got a little bit of bounce, but again, took it a little bit edgy, so it's a little bit different. Bit of an old school rave sound in it as well. So that's all to come on the 25 Years of Tidy Girls EP. And if you want tickets for the 25 Years of Tidy Girls and Tidy Boys, skiddle.com. And we're going to the Opera House on the 30th of November.
Party of the year, I'd suggest, Lisa.
I would say so. I'm
And
gonna
also,
dress up for that.
the other anniversary that I should really talk about is the 30 years of Tidy, but it's our weekender next year.
Yes.
Weekender stories, we like them, don't we? Now, do you want to relive the Lisa Lash's Weekender story?
Oh.
Yeah, but how many have you done them all?
No.
How many of you do you think you've done?
She's done quite a lot.
Many.
Quite a few.
Yeah, was it the first one was it you or I came to look for you?
No, you
and
came
Anne
to look
Savage?
for Anne. Don't blame me for it. I was hiding her.
Yeah, we had
Don't go.
I think we had one of our DJ signing sessions.
Yeah, at the
And
Weekender
this
in
is
Pontins.
one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
This is-
Prestatin, yeah.
And I think Anne was on the top of a wardrobe and you were hiding
Under the
bed,
bed.
I think. And so you'd been having a good time, hadn't you? And I was like the headmaster,
Best time.
Yeah.
rounding up two naughty children.
I know, it was funny.
You were naughty.
Oh, we
then.
were
The
really
memories
naughty.
from the Weekenders.
Yeah.
They- I
well,
mean, they-
Howard Marks, I remember dancing with him
Really?
at one of the weekenders, which you'd never think would happen, would you? You know, like
That's
him
what the
and
Weekenders
Pritchard
are
and
about, though.
stuff.
It's not just about the music and the DJs. It's about the stories. How many times have we had to pull Rob Tissera out of a flower bed?
A bush.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Or a bush.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a story about
Yeah.
the Weekender. And that's what we want to do for the next Weekender, because it's our 30th and we're going to a new venue, Vauxhall Park in Great Yarmouth. We want people to come out and, party, not like they used to, probably when they were 22, but obviously do it a little bit more adult.
Well, it's a community now, isn't it? You know,
Yes.
and so we're all coming back together. I think Pontins had served as well.
Yeah.
It was what it was. It was dirty, but it was a special thing at the time. And so I think where we are all now, this new venue, which took a lot of finding, I think is perfect for the community to come back together and share the love of the music.
Yeah.
But the weekend is about the people, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
about the
for
friendships
sure.
that you've made.
Yeah.
And we're a place where the DJs and the clubbers mingle and mix together.
Whether it be up a tree or under a bed, wherever.
On the
But,
top of a
yeah.
wardrobe.
Lisa, anything in life that pisses you off? It's a question from a fan.
The motorway coming up here.
Because obviously,
That pisses me off, 50
we're
mile an
always
hour.
smiling, always happy. But there's always things that Nick. I'm going to ask you in a minute, so you think about it. I asked a few people for questions, and
Okay.
because people see us smiling, always happy.
Yeah.
But the fans must always think there must be something that pisses Lisa
50
Lash.
mile an hour motorway coming up to
M1.
the studio. I could have been here like at 6 o'clock this morning, but yeah.
And it's all the
And
it's all
I
the
don't
way.
see anybody. I don't see anybody working.
Nobody
Not
working.
even one person with a brick in there. And I'm attending to work.
I went
There's
from
nothing.
Leeds to Kettering on the same journey on the motorway, and you're right. I think out of the 135 miles, I clocked 86 of it was traffic cone,
Oh, it's so annoying.
an average speed camera.
50 mile an hour. Not that we would go much faster than,
No, of course we
speed
wouldn't.
limit.
We were-
but,
we did-
I did see a post you put about a leaf on your to hide your registration plate, which caused some bit of a
Did you?
kerfuffle, didn't it,
We
with certain
did.
people?
Well, yeah, you can buy these leaves on Amazon now. They've got a sticky back. You just put them over a certain letter of your number plate. Then obviously, and there's one that's got a magnet. So what happens if you've got a leaf on your number plate covering it
Yeah.
over? Police cars come in. Apparently, you've got a magnet that releases it and blows it off before they stop you.
Not that we would condone that.
No.
obviously,
Well, exactly,
but,
Amadeus.
No, that,
you know,
it is illegal.
Where do we get those from?
I'll send you a link.
Yeah, thank you.
You can make your own mind up. So obviously, speeding, slow speed on the motorway is
Yeah,
the
that's
the
quite
main
annoying.
thing that
It's
catches
only
you.
because I
There.
want to come up early to come and see you guys. I mean, I was a week early,
Yeah.
a day before.
And you nearly did it again last week.
Yeah, I nearly did. I just
But let's
love
talk
you
about
guys,
the tow
that's
yard. You
why.
love it up here, don't
I
you?
love it up here. It's such a creative space. I absolutely love it.
For
It's
people who
perfect.
don't know, Tileyard North is the sister to Tileyard South, which started in London a long time ago, didn't it? Is it
10 years ago now.
King's Cross, is it? I
Yeah.
think you've
Yeah.
been there a few times. And so what Paul Kemp, who owns that building, this is the story. He came up here, went to the Hepworth Gallery next door, looked out the window and saw these mills here
Yes.
and said, who owns it? And I think the council owned it, and they were all derelict. And then he
He had
said,
a
I want to
vision.
buy them. I've got a vision to turn this as the creative hub of the North. And a lot of people don't realise that Wakefield is actually dead centre of the North. So we've got Leeds 15 minutes away. And I still live in Leeds, and it's a nice little commute. But you've come up from Leicester.
Leicester, yeah.
And apart from the
Love
slow
it.
M1, you love it, don't you?
Yeah, nothing else pees me off really. I've pretty much.
You've got to let this stuff go
quite-
nowadays. Although the thing
Yeah.
that pees me off is car related. It is bad drivers, Amadeus. I leave early for the office. I left at 6 this morning, and just people who just want to cut you up on the inside lane.
Yeah.
Terrible driving, pisses me off, Amadeus.
Is
So
that
you
you?
find as you get
Is that-
older, you get more. As you get older, you get more annoyed with things.
Oh, but actually, no, I don't, because one time a day you'd chase them and want to, gun them
Oh,
down.
you were one of them, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, racer.
Not anymore.
Whereas now I just sort of laugh.
Didn't you have a white Celica car?
Yeah, I've had all the cars, Amadeus.
Didn't you get banned for driving speeding?
Twice, yeah.
Oh,
Twice.
It's all coming out.
But you've
now.
had them situations where you do lose your rag with a fellow driver, and then they end up chasing you, and you're going in the same direction, and that can get tricky, can't it? And then
Yeah.
you both arrive at the same car park.
Yeah, that's.
Because everyone's invincible in a car, aren't they?
Have you ever had a driver stick the V's up to you?
I had that recently with an old lady. She gave me the V's.
No, told my mother not to do that.
Absolutely
wasn't it?
V's. Hilarious.
I hate that when somebody. And also,
Mum.
they're in the wrong, and they're looking at you like
Yeah.
you're in the wrong.
You just have to let them go. A couple of
Just let them
beepers
go.
on me. I'm like,
You just let them
just
go.
let
So
them go.
driving, but we don't have to do that too much because we don't DJ as much as we used to. Me and Andy, although we are back on the road in the new year because we're coming out for some celebration
Yeah,
gigs.
well,
course.
same management as yourself now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Amazing, Barry. From
We thought,
Fresh, thank
well,
you.
yeah, Lisa's doing all right, so we'll
Yeah.
copy her and join her.
You are
management.
more than welcome.
No, we're in
You're
San
very
Diego in a couple of weeks. Yeah, we've not been there for a long
Can't
time.
go to America though.
John Bishop. Oh, you can't go,
Mm.
can you? Can we talk about why you can't go? Oh.
Yeah.
Why can't you go to America,
oh, wow,
Lisa?
because 23 years ago,
Go on.
I was caught with some
Narcotics.
narcotics in my bag that obviously I didn't know was there because I was going through South. The only reason I kind of got let off with a naughty fine was because I'd gone through South Korea or North Korea, where they chop your hands off if you've got narcotics. So
What?
obviously the barrister took that to court and said she didn't know it was in there because I kind of need my hands. And I'd have had to chop my hands off if they'd have found that in my DJ bag. So it was a long story. Probably won't go into the story. Anyway, I'm still going through that, so I can't.
How
I'm
long
not
is that?
allowed.
How long does that last for?
Well, it's supposed to be already gone because I didn't get a criminal record because it was a category B or something. Yes, they have to do something because obviously I had it in my bag, so they can't just go, okay, that's fine, you didn't know. But it wasn't a what was it called?
Class A.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, right.
Oh, it was a
But-
Class A.
Yeah, but but it was I was kind of
Was
like
it a pill or powder or something?
2 pills.
2 pills.
Yeah, 2 ecstasy pills.
Ecstasy tablets.
Yeah, in my record bag. Yeah, rubbish. So 20 odd years later, I'm still...
Not allowed to tour in the States.
No.
Is that
that's
official,
so
or you just didn't go?
No, it's official, yeah. But a couple of years ago, I did have something from the American Embassy saying, oh, you were right, that it isn't a Category A, and you didn't have a criminal record. And I was like, oh, thanks. So I've just got an email. So I could probably... if I want to go into America again, I could. Okay.
Oh, that's sad news, because I've just got an American tour for the Euphoria thing. And never mind, Lisa, we'll have to do it
You're
for
going
you.
to have to do it. But as the Tidy Girls, though, please, the Tidy Girl.
Now, this brings us on to the time we were nearly the Tidy Girls. Tidy Weekender 2, we did Tidy Girls versus Tidy Boys. It was you and Anne Savage versus me and Andy. Now, I don't know whether you know this, but we built a boxing ring on the stage, and it was going to be a battle of the DJs, yeah? Now, me and Andy were going to surprise you, and we were coming out as girls. Now, what happened is we got dressed up backstage, and Andy had these really big girls' size 9 red shoes on.
Did you? Is this true?
His feet aren't pretty, and when he put them on, he looked at me and you felt sick, didn't you?
Yeah, I just looked down and saw this big shoe on my foot and thought, what am I doing? What are we doing? And so we scrapped that idea.
And it literally took about 5 minutes before we came on stage, we took these girls' costumes off and wigs and put our jeans and T-shirts back on. So we nearly came out as Tidy Girls.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of Tidy Weekender instance with us because we always do the intro, the Friday night intro. And my friend does like to dress up.
I do.
I like to be a little bit more subtle. And the worst one ever was the Dirty Weekender.
Tidy Weekender 7.
Where we came out in... I think I was the guy from Rocky Horror, wasn't so I'd got thigh-high leather boots on, stockings, basque, the full thing. And I can remember makeup.
So
I can remember walking down from backstage the stairs, passing Fergie on the way, and there's me with thigh-high leather boots. And I can remember as we started DJing, within 5 minutes, I thought, "What am I doing?" And I can remember
kicking them off,
slowly undressing, and just being stood there in this basque on stage and thinking,
I think what we're like.
Oh my God. But, I thought, what am I doing? And to this day, I never want to see a photo of that horrific moment.
But unfortunately, I have got photos of that event. And I've got a picture, I can't show him it, it's on my hard drive, of Andy. It's a crowd, 2,000 people. Andy's on the speaker, half his clothes are off, and it's just his bare ass.
I know. It's horrible. I'm a businessman now, and I'm working at very high levels. And
we've all got a past. Lisa's talked about her pills.
I have.
But I met with our PR people the other day in the business side of things, and I did say to her, just so you know, there is a legacy of stuff in Tidy TV on YouTube. Of me doing the other job, just so you know.
Do you want to tell people a little bit about your other job? Or you say it's your other job, it's your main job, because people are saying, what's Andy talking about? What are you talking about?
So I am the chief executive of a company called Pure Energy Go. So we provide the music for gym operators like David Lloyd. So we're a specialist music company now. We have an app and we create music. We've got a catalogue of thousands of sound recordings, most of which are produced by Tidy producers. So it's a high growth business with investment. And so I'm pretty accountable now to shareholders and investors. So it's a global...
No more dressing up.
No more dressing up in GIMP outfits.
Oh my goodness.
Shit.
Yeah. But things happen, 20 odd years ago that happened to me, and it's just a warning to people, I suppose, that you do have to have a certain...
Yes.
You have to be careful because things can still trail
stays
after
with you.
I think the advantage
Especially
you've
now.
got, it's not like you were Frank Boff dressed up in a brothel.
No.
What I'm saying, you were performing. I always say don't worry about the Tidy TV stuff because we were actors, and actors obviously have to play different parts and different roles.
Yeah.
So you could always come back and say, look, you were acting a role out there.
Look, to be honest, the Tidy thing works really well. My couple of my guys were presenting to one of the local authorities up in Scotland because we sell our service into like leisure trusts, and because we have people like Rob Tessera producing music for us.
I love him.
This guy who's head of fitness up at Argyle, I think it was, said, I know Tidy Boys, know Rob Tessera, I'm in. So actually the Tidy thing works well with what we do.
Yeah, opens doors,
because
for sure.
actually hard house, trance, we don't just make hard house and trance, but the music that we've made for 30 years works very well for fitness as it goes.
It's an easy sell.
Yeah, and Pure As You Go, just to touch on it, I remember 2020, it was lockdown, and Andy rang me and said, get all the producers to make music, we're going to start a new company for people. Because what happened in lockdown, Lisa, people couldn't DJ, and aerobic instructors couldn't play music on Facebook, it got muted.
Yes, I remember.
So it was Andy's idea to come up with license-free music that didn't get muted.
Yeah,
white
I did.
And
All my Facebook ones were taken down. I was getting like 250,000 people joining me on a Friday or a Saturday, and then it was just like muted.
Muted, yeah. So that was what happened, and then so all the producers like Rob Sear and Flash Harry and all that, we were all locked up with nothing to do. So Andy created a business whereby those producers earned money for making music for Pure As You Go.
Yeah, and we're collaborating now in the mindfulness.
Yeah, and this brings full
mind-body.
circle. Then
Yes.
this is why you had the meeting today with Andy. You've
We've
got
got some
big
exciting
plans
stuff.
Yeah.
for the mind
Very
body, because
exciting.
Pure As You Go, as well as doing drum and bass, techno, house, it does a mind body for yoga,
Relaxation, meditation, yeah. We do it all.
So not just
Who knew? Who knew, Lisa?
Who knew?
All 25 years ago.
Years ago, oh my
come back
goodness.
round.
Love
So
it.
is there any questions you'd like to ask me and Andy about our life? It couldn't be personal. Anything that's been playing on your mind?
Just how hopefully you are clean and ready to go to San Diego, to America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are clean, aren't we?
Good.
Yeah, we're
No
looking
pills in the
okay.
back.
No pills in the bag. We have got to go and DJ with John Bishop,
I
actually.
love John. Did
We
I
love
te-
John.
Oh, he's coming to the Weekender, by the way.
Oh, can I tell you the story about John?
Go on,
Did I
please.
tell you it?
Please
Go
tell
on.
us
Oh,
the
no,
John
it's so
Bishop
embarrassing.
story. We love a John
So
Bishop.
I went over there to play San Diego. He was picked me up at the airport with his mum. We're going to the zoo. I think he'd like to take you to the zoo.
Looks like,
Yes.
It's very perfect. So he'd got a little doggy called Cowboy.
Yes.
Was sitting in the front on his mum's lap.
Oh, yeah, I remember Cowboy,
So,
the dog.
Remember Cowboy? I think he's
yeah,
still
remember
alive.
Cowboy?
Yeah, dead now.
Is he dead?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
we
died,
could have
yeah.
been dead a lot
Yeah.
earlier because what I did, I was sitting in the back and it was so hot when you get over there. I wound the windows down a little bit. Anyway, love dogs, love animals. I was like, Cowboy, hello, lovely to meet you. I went, come on, like that. And it jumped on me and jumped out the window, didn't it, on the fucking freeway?
All the way out.
Oh, no, out the window, it had to stop traffic and
Oh, my
everything.
God.
It was like,
Like a scene from
his
Anchorman.
mum's crying. John Bishop's crying. Everyone's like in shock, like big Arctic. lorry
Lisa
just
Lash has
like-
killed my dog.
I was like, we didn't
Dog
go to the
jumps
zoo.
out window.
We didn't go to the zoo then.
Did you retrieve the dog?
Yeah, of course, but like I had to stop all the freeway traffic, like 8 lanes of traffic, just like got out, darted across,
Wow.
like oh my goodness, and the dog's just there, like
That's a good John Bishop story.
Yeah, I know,
It's,
that's-
it's better
I'm
than the
so
time
sorry.
you kicked him.
you kicked who? The
Kicked
dog?
John
or-
Bishop in the leg.
Yeah, I'm not an aggressive man.
No.
I've never punched him in my life, but I actually attacked him in Birmingham.
Oh, did you? What?
Yeah, because we love John, but
Yeah.
John can be typically American and it can be a bit annoying. And he would not stop. He was just chuntering and just when someone keeps prodding you and poking you, and I just turned around and whacked him.
Oh,
I kicked him in the
wow.
leg in the
I
shin.
actually took him
Did
down.
you?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah, and I wasn't joking.
No, there was no laughter
Was it?
afterwards.
There
No,
was no-
he was down on the
I just
floor.
got cross, and I literally
Oh, we're
we were
not gonna
playing
make you
Sunday
cross.
Central, I think, or something in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And yeah, in a hotel foyer, I took
John
him.
used to
Did
wind us
you?
up though. When we used to go to America, we'd had no sleep on a flight, 14 hours, and we'd get there and we got a gig that night. And he knew I hated rock music at the time, and he'd turn on like Bon Jovi, full blast, and then he'd sing. You know, we're asleep in the back, and you're just nodding off, and he'd go, you know, shut through the heart, and he'd sing and annoy us and play it loud. But he knew what he was doing.
love you,
So
John.
one day we went on a plane and hid his shoes. He fell asleep on a plane, and
you?
we hid his shoes, and you'd think the joke would be that he finds them at the end of the flight. No, he didn't.
Oh.
No,
We left him.
Ooh.
We left him.
We hid his shoes.
and he never
You're
did find
mean.
them. So
We
he was
should never
shoeless.
going on a flight with you.
But you will get the pleasure of being with him in Great Yarmouth
Yay.
at the Tidy 30 weekend.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be useful, a nice thing. So you've done lots of weekenders, and to sum up why you would encourage someone to come to Weekender, how, in all your experience, what you've done, what is it
Yes.
about a Tidy Weekender?
Well, you walk into that arena and venue and you could just feel the love
Yeah.
frequency, which is 5 to 8 hertz, by the way. You could just like literally feel just everybody is excited. Their expectations are for fun and stuff, and it delivers every time. Like,
does, doesn't it?
obviously. And the memories you make from it, and yeah, whether they be there or like a couple of days later or whatever, it's just an absolute family, and it's such a great thing to experience as well.
It's a community, and I think, to round it up, why people love the Weekender, it's the only... We all get to see each other at different clubs and we say hi, and, whether you play at Frantic, Sunday Central. But when you're at a Weekender, you get more time to spend with that family, and it's more intimate, and it is a gathering of everybody's into Hard House. So it's almost like a convention of Hard House. It's the only time that 2,000 plus people get together, sit down, have a coffee, do whatever they want to do, and party and talk and share the experience together. And as I say, I get lots of emails, and I had one the other day where somebody said they met their wife at a Weekender, and I think actually it was Drax Nelson. Paul Norris, he met his wife at the Weekender. They were just celebrating 13 years or 14 years together. And he said if it weren't for the Weekender, that brought them together, because they were two strangers, met, and that happy ending.
So there's many of those. I love them.
A Hard House question then for you. So if you were going to play only 3 records from your Hard House history,
from your bag,
if Lisa Lashes was going to say, right, what are the three records that you would reach for to go, this defines my 25-year journey in Hard House?
Would I
start, middle and end. What are you going to start with?
I'd start with The Pod and Savage, The Pod.
Oh, good call.
Do you
good
love
call,
that?
yeah. And that's and I don't think many people would expect you to
such
say that.
energy. That's one of my
We
favourites.
need to dig that back out again.
Yeah, I used to love playing that. It's so simple but so effective.
Yeah.
I would say it's explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So The Pod. So track 1.
The
Pod. There we go.
And then possibly We Came, We Saw. I do love We Came, We Saw.
Yeah.
I don't play many of
Great
my
sample.
tracks. Yes, I know. Always the great samples, weren't they, from
Ghostbusters.
I love them. Was it?
We came, we saw,
we kicked his ass.
Yeah, and Hannah Lane said that it was one of her favourite tracks of yours as well. Maybe
she wants to remix it.
But that was a great EP. Tidy Girls EP.
Yeah.
So the Central EP,
Yeah.
So that's
and oh gosh, what? Maybe like Party Time or something.
Party
F1?
Time by
Is it F1 or
Trauma?
Trauma?
Was it Trauma?
Trauma, yeah. Party Time was the follow-up to Higher.
I love both of those.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Higher is, for me, just Hard House done well.
Yes, it is actually.
It's progressive. It just keeps building and building. The most simple and effective riff ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. So if you want to dig these out on Spotify, so you can search for them. Lisa Lashes, We Came, We Saw, and Savage the Pod, which I think was it on Riot Recordings, that one? What did that come out?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if it was was it a bootleg?
No, it wasn't a bootleg. It was done with Vinyl Groover, and Savage and Vinyl Groover, the Pod. And obviously Trauma, Higher, or Party Time, both on
just
Tidy
love those,
tracks.
just like...
That's Hard House. It's just great uplifting party music.
They remind me of the days when you could go clubbing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's another thing we could have talked about, which is what's happened to all the clubs. And
I know.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, because back in the day, Progress, Hot Dog, Naughty But Nice.
Oh, wow.
There was the big nights, the slinkies of this world. But of those kind of, where you went to those little towns, was the one club night that you'd pulled back from your tour in DJing history, which was like, that was special.
Hot Dog
I thought you were
Hot
going to
Dog.
say that, yeah.
Of course.
Was it
No,
Leicester or not
Leicester? So that was by Roman.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Tristram
I remember it
first. Hi, Rome. That was just like a small kind of, that was another family kind of thing in there as well. So
there's something special about small gigs, as well as the big gigs we talked about with the big crowd and the slinkies and the opera house and the weekenders. There is something nice about those small intimate gigs. And that we're going to do one actually. We're doing a vinyl party at the Tileyard. We're going to try and make it a monthly thing, and it's only for 100 people, which is really intimate.
Yeah.
So we do as well as next year, we've got some big Tidy 30 parties. We've also got some intimate gigs as well. But I think I remember Hot Dog. It was very hot and sweaty.
It was like seriously hot and sweaty.
There's no aircon back in those days.
I think one of my jackets actually melted in there, like my little plastic jacket thing.
It was that hot it melted. But back in those days as well, you could smoke. So not only was it hot, it was smelly as well, wasn't it? You never forget coming home, putting your clothes on the floor, waking up the next day, and you could just smell smoke.
Wet,
like an ashtray.
Bags.
In 2007, the smoking ban stopped. But it's a shame that all the clubs are gone. Is there a club that you wish you'd played that you never did get to play at? We just played Fabric recently, didn't we?
Oh, I've not done Fabric.
It was on our hit list, and lucky enough, we played for Wax
Amazing.
Format, and we were lucky to play that.
I'd like to
we'd
do
never...
Fabric.
Have you done Fabric?
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was one
Maybe
of those
we
because
should
we
look
kind
at
of
Fabric
Maybe
for
that should be a Euphoria.
because when that
Maybe we
came
should-
up, because we
Oh, yeah.
obviously stopped playing, and me particularly, but it was one of those clubs that you're like, wow, to play vinyl at Fabric. Yeah, let's do that then. Let's go for it.
100%. Yeah.
Do you still play vinyl, Lisa? Or...
I love vinyl. The last time I played vinyl was at Ministry of Sound, and it wasn't great because
What happened?
well, it's just needle kept going.
Oh, no. I hate it. If you're going to have a vinyl night,
Oh,
one
man.
thing you've got to get right is make sure the decks don't
Yeah.
jump. It's a simple thing to do, isn't it?
Literally threw it into the crowd and just.
We need to send you
thankfully
some of
got
our
my USB.
vinyl then. We've just started the Tidy Vinyl Club for 400 people, and it gets mailed. You subscribe every month, and then we mail. And we usually have a classic on one side and a new one on the other side. So we'll have to send you some new vinyl.
Yes, please. Maybe I could come
It's
and do
quite-
the vinyl cafe with you one time.
Yes,
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
we start this vinyl club and it's just growing month by month.
I love it. Okay.
It really is.
Yeah, I always said that probably vinyl will outlive the USB and the CD,
Yeah,
and I think
for
that's probably
sure.
going to happen. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're still playing vinyl, you could probably come to one of our cafe parties because it's called a secret vinyl party, and we're not saying who's playing.
Okay.
So one day you could turn up, and it could be somebody like Lisa Lashes. I've looked at my list of questions, and just like a pensioner, I've dried up.
Oh, Amadeus. Amadeus. Hey, well, you're going to be a pensioner soon, aren't you?
Well, next year I am. It's another celebration. I'm 60 next year,
Oh,
Lisa.
wow.
60.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's
How
beautiful.
do you feel about that?
I don't know whether to just what I did for my 50th. I locked myself in a Malmaison and didn't speak to people for 3 days. So I don't know what I'm going to do on my 60th. What could I do?
Relatively soon.
Yeah, you're not far behind me.
55.
You're not Barbie.
55.
I'm 55. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah, 55. I'm 56 in March.
You're not 58.
No.
We're going to be mixed up with somebody else.
Yeah, I was born in 1969, Amadeus.
Right. Okay. I always had you down as older.
Nope.
I really did. I thought you were just 2 years behind me.
No.
Never mind.
Are you wounded? Are you going to lock yourself in the mummies?
When I'm 60, well, I could do one or two things: hide
Yeah.
or have a big
Celebrate.
party.
We celebrate it.
party.
We celebrate it.
Maybe I'll have a little party in the vinyl cafe.
That sounds
I'd
good.
love that.
Would you like that?
I'll DJ for you.
I'd choose 100 people, 100 guests.
Oh, yeah.
Would
let's
you
do
DJ
that.
for me?
I would, yeah.
Would you play my favourite records?
I would, yeah. I'll do a Jive Bunny set for you.
We put the head on.
I'll put the head on.
We put the Jive Bunny head on.
I'll do it just for you.
me.
The one time only.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 60th. I look forward to that. Well, Lisa, have you enjoyed it? That's the main thing.
Well, anytime I'm with you guys,
Oh, bless you.
I always enjoy.
Our little
And
chat.
thank you.
It's nice.
for-
And I think
you really have.
Yeah.
Like, welcomed me up to.
Well,
you
you're
know,
always
brilliant.
welcome. I
Thank
said
you.
that when you first come up here. Open door,
Thank
Lisa.
you.
You're always welcome. Whether you're making meditation music
Yes.
for Pure Energy Go, or whether you're doing a banger for Tidy.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're going to heal the world,
such-
aren't we?
Yeah, 100%.
We're going to
Heal
heal
the
the
world.
world. We're going to heal
Absolutely.
people with music.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
Now we know.
Right. So,
that
if they want to find out more information about Lisa, where should they go? Is there anywhere they can go?
it's
You're,
probably on my Facebook or
Facebook,
Instagram. Yeah.
are you on that thing called TikTok or?
I'm not on TikTok, but I will be soon when all my releases start coming out. So, yes,
TikTok.
of course. Please
TikTok,
be
is it?
Tick.
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, we're a bit old. We've always worried about TikTok because it is mainly people dancing in the kitchen, and we're always. But I think we ought to be professional and get on it. You know,
I think we
We
should
are.
have this.
Collectively, if you do it, I will. Let's go.
let's all go TikTok mag soon. Well, maybe this podcast. Well, it can't be. This podcast can't be on TikTok because it's in landscape and TikTok's in portrait. Okay, we've got. Should we tell them that Sam's... We've got Sam Townend, actually, who's pressed play. He won't want us to tell you, but he pressed play and record on this podcast. So we'd like to thank Sam for sitting through
I think we
this.
could call him our producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about that?
Yeah, our producer.
He's done a lot of things in his life. He's been event manager, DJ, producer, but he's never been a podcast producer.
And
Sam,
cameraman. He was set up the
he's
cameras
cameraman
and the
as well.
microphones.
He's an all-rounder. He's, Thank you, Sam.
We
We're
could
going to
turn
wrap
that.
it up now. So we're going to be back regularly with these podcasts with other guests. We are the Tidy Boys. We're getting ready for Tidy's 30th birthday, Euphoria's 25th, and the Tidy Girls, of course, November the 30th, Opera House in Bournemouth. Thank you very much, Lisa, for joining us.
Very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being in conversation with us.
Thank you.
And we'll be back again very soon.